You've probably seen that little SOC compliant badge on a website and maybe just scrolled right past it. But what does it actually mean? Well, let me tell you, it's way more than just some techie jargon. For a lot of businesses, it's literally the golden key that opens the door to their biggest, most important deals. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on SOC and show you why it's such a massive tool for growth. So I'll just ask you straight up, is your company SOC 2 compliant? Because, if you handle customer data in any way, shape, or form, this is a question you're going to start hearing all the time. And I'm not exaggerating here. Your answer could be the one thing that separates you from landing a client that completely changes the game for your company or watching them go to a competitor. It's really that important. All right, so let's get into it. Here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why this is such a high-stakes question. Then, we'll nail down exactly what SOC2 is. After that, we'll break down its 5 core principles, walk through what it takes to get certified, and finally, we'll talk about how this thing becomes a huge asset for your business. Okay, first things first, let's look at the big picture. These days, data security is not just some IT checklist item. It's a fundamental requirement for doing business. Getting SOC 2 compliant is how you really prove to big enterprise customers that you are serious about protecting their data. It just completely changes the conversation from, can we trust you, to, okay, let's get down to business. So what in the world is this standard that everyone's talking about? It sounds super technical and complicated, but honestly, the main idea behind it is pretty simple. Let's get a nice, clear definition. So SOC2 was actually created by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, the AICPA. The best way to think about it is like a full-on home inspection for your company's data security. An independent auditor comes in and checks everything to verify that you have the right systems in place to keep customer info safe. It's the formal official proof that you actually do what you say you do when it comes to security. And you might be asking, well, who needs this? Basically, if you're a SaaS company, a cloud provider, or really any business that handles client data as part of what you do, then yeah, SOC 2 is for you. It's become the gold standard for any company providing services. So how does this framework actually work? How does it measure something as abstract as trust? Well, it's all built on these 5 core pillars. The AICPA calls them the trust services criteria. Think of them as the 5 big promises your security program has to keep. Let's check them out. Now, here's the really interesting part. There are 5 principles, but you don't always have to do all 5. See, security is the foundation. It's non-negotiable. Everybody has to do that one. But the other 4, availability, processing integrity, confidentiality, and privacy, you pick those based on the specific services you offer and the promises you've made to your customers. Right, so every single SOC 2 audit begins right here. The security principle is what they call the common criteria, and it's all about one thing, protecting your systems and data from bad actors. If you mess this up, you're opening the door to data breaches, and that means huge fines, lost customers, and a reputation that's just toast. Next step is availability. This one's for any business that promises a certain amount of uptime. Think about a cloud storage company. Their clients have to be able to get to their data when they need it. If you fail on availability, you're causing downtime, which could mean your customers are losing money and, pretty quickly, all faith in your service. Processing integrity is all about being reliable and accurate. Does your system do what it's supposed to do without mistakes? A failure here can mean a financial transaction goes wrong or data gets corrupted. Those kinds of errors can have a massive, devastating ripple effect for your client's business. Then there's confidentiality. This one is laser-focused on protecting super sensitive information. We're talking about things like trade secrets or intellectual property. If you get this wrong, you could end up leaking a client's secret sauce, their strategic plans, something that could absolutely destroy their competitive edge. And finally, we have privacy. Now, this sounds a lot like confidentiality, but it's different. Privacy is specifically about personally identifiable information, or PII, things like names, addresses, social security numbers. A failure on the privacy front can lead to crippling fines from regulations like GDPR, and it completely shatters the trust you have with your users. Okay, so now we know the what and the why. So let's get into the how. How do you actually get this thing?
The road to getting a SOC 2 report isn't some chaotic mad dash. It's a pretty well-defined process.
And this right here is one of the first big decisions you have to make. Think of a Type 1 report as a snapshot. The auditor checks to see if your security controls are designed properly on one specific day. But a Type 2 report is more like a movie. It evaluates how well your controls actually work over a period of time, usually 6 to 12 months. And spoiler alert, most serious enterprise clients are going to want to see the movie. The whole process is very methodical. You start by defining your scope, then you do a readiness assessment to find any weak spots, and then you fix those before the official auditor ever shows up. And just a heads up, this isn't an overnight thing. It can take anywhere from a few months to over a year, and the costs can vary a lot. But the key thing to remember is that it's not a one-and-done deal. SOC 2 requires you to keep monitoring and improving. And that brings us to maybe the most important point of all. SOC 2 is not just about passing a test or getting a piece of paper to hang on the wall. It's about taking all that hard work and turning it into something that actively pushes your business forward. I mean, this is the real prize right here. It builds a kind of deep, foundational trust with your customers. It gives you a massive leg up on the competition when you're bidding for those big contracts. And inside your own company, it creates a stronger security culture and makes your whole organization more resilient to risk. It's a win-win-win. Which leads us to the final takeaway. Whatever you do, don't just get your SOC 2 report and file it away in some digital folder. Use it. Put that badge on your website. Make sure your sales team knows how to talk about it. Turn that investment in security into a loud and clear statement about how much your company cares about trust and quality. Because really, what's more valuable than a customer who feels completely safe doing business with you?